Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing some eye looks with the Carli Bybel palette, and yes, I finally call her Bybel. I saw a couple of other reviews on this palette and that's when I heard that it was pronounced as Bybel and not Babel, and I felt so silly, but the video was already out there. I couldn't really change it, so I thought I'll at least correct myself in the next video. So here I am calling her the correct way, Carli Bybel. Anyway, so if you'd like to see some more looks with this palette, keep on watching. So first I'm going to take the chai shade and just apply it all over the, not all over the eyelid, but at the corners. And this is going to be a really simple look. So I'm just putting it at the edge with the same chai shade and without any complicated steps with my blending brush, and just applying it here. Next, I'm going to go with my finger into this mousse shade, and it's really pigmented and shiny. And like I said, this is a very simple eye look, and that's what it's going to be. I'm just going to keep it keep a shiny eyelid. Next, I'm going to go into this deep shade right here, and it's called Bowie. And with my same blending brush, I'll just deepen the edge a little bit. And also going into this Bowie shade with a tighter blending brush, like just a crease brush. And I'll just deepen the crease a little bit. And this is something you can do with a cut crease as well. I just thought that this would work. So cut crease would make it even more neater. Next, I'm going to go into this Bowie shade and just apply it at the bottom lid. Just smoke it out a little bit. And like I said, this is a very simple look that I'm doing just to start off with. The rest of the colors are pretty bold, so I thought I'll start off with something simple. And this is like a very basic, everyday shimmery eye look. And instead of using this bright shade, you could use this shade as well with the same base. I mean, it's up to you. This mousse shade is really shiny. It's crazy and I love it. Going with that blending brush one more time and just applying the chai shade one more time, just intensifying this a little bit. All right, so this is the first look. Next, I just want to build on top of this look. Except for this shade, I want to apply the My Angels shade. I want to see how that looks with the same base. So I just want to show you the difference between the two looks. So I'm just applying this on my right eye. And this is really pigmented. And so what I'm going to do is, of course, the base is the same. I took the chai shade and the Bowie shade, and in the center I applied My Angels instead of Moo. So very similar golden shade. But just to give it a little bit of pop, I'm going to take this red shade and just apply at the corner of my eye. And then with a blending brush, just blend it. Build it a little bit more. So I'm just trying to create as many looks as I can without having to rub too much makeup. That's why I'm doing this. I'm also going into the Bowie shade and just building up this red a little bit at the corners. And I do see fallout, so just be very careful. Again, going into the bowie and the red shade together and just building up this edge. Also with the pencil brush, I'm just going to go at the bottom and just apply it here as well. So this is a little bit of an intense look. I will definitely not call it wearable. And as you can see, there is so much fallout. So again, something you need to be careful with. Just apply these colors very slowly. Or maybe there's something wrong with this brush. I don't know. Definitely not happy about the fallout. And since it's red, now this has become red. Just building this red a little bit more. So what I have here is I have bowie and red and bowie mixed here. And then I just have the red here. So it's kind of giving it a gradient. And I want to apply an eyeliner, but then I'll have to remove it. So I'm just going to put my falsies for now. But you can definitely intensify this look by applying a wing liner and it will look really good. Alright, so this is the second look. It's basically an intensified version of the previous look. And it's got reds and it's got golds. And I guess you could use it for going out. Next, I'm going to go into this Cindy shade and apply it at the upper crease. Then I'm going to go into the Stev shade, the red shade, and just create some sort of gradients here. And then going back into the Cindy shade one more time. Next, I'm going to do a cut crease. So I'm just going to apply some concealer. Next, I'm going to go into this Libra shade. And I just want to have a steel gray / red eye. Let's see how this looks. So something that I don't, and I'm discovering this as part of this demo, that there is a lot of fallout, and if you're not careful, you will end up with a lot of product on your face. So either do the eye look afterwards or just be really, really careful when you're applying these shades. So if you want an intense look, just stipple the brush. Don't just take a lot of product all at once because it will create a mess on your face. I'm going to go into the bowie shade, and then just intensify this edge. And also I'm just going to dip my brush into the red shade and the bowie shade because I want a little bit of red here. I do want to mention that the bowie shade worked fine with the crease brush and gave me trouble only with the blending brush, so choose accordingly. And just doing a little bit of fine crease right here. Next, I'm going to go into that same red shade, Stev, and apply it at the bottom. Just smoke the lower half. And I understand that this is like you would need some time at least to build this eye because it is a cut crease, and cut crease, if you don't have practice, it takes some time. So I get that. You can definitely skip the cut crease step, but I feel like it shows up better if you do a cut crease. That's why I chose to do it. But you can definitely skip that cut crease thing and just apply it directly. And then I'll just go into the George shade, which is this one right here, with the same brush, and apply it at the lower eye just to intensify it a little bit because this is much more shimmery than the Libra shade. I could, in fact, sparkle it up a little bit and apply Jode a little bit here. And just to keep it a little gray still, I'll apply the Libra shade. Right, so this is the steel gray look. You can apply the other shades with the red. I did the original video that I made, my first impressions video, that also has a similar look with the red shade and the pink and also the OA shade. So I'm not going to be doing that in this video. I just thought I will also do a look with the Libra shade with kind of a red transition, and that's how it looks. So for the last look, I'm going to go into this chai shade with my blending brush and apply it at the crease. And then with my same brush, I'm going to go and apply the Cindy shade all over the eyelid. And as I'm using this palette, I realize that there is a lot of fallout when I use my blending brush. I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush to apply and pack this shade. I'm not sure if it's my brushes or what that causes the fallout, so that's why. I'm going to go into the Steve shade and the Bowie shade and start building the sides. And I'm trying to do a halo look. I really like this Cindy shade. It's a very light, neonish, peachy shade, which kind of gives life to the eye, and it's really summery actually. So it's built up a little bit, and I'm gonna go with the flat side of the brush, apply Cindy again. Next, I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom lid. Apply Cindy and then Steve, and just connect these two. And from here as well. And then going with the chai shade with the blending side one more time. Just intensifying this a little bit. And then I'm tempted to apply something shimmery in the center, but I'm not sure if it will show up, so I'm tempted to do a cut crease. Not cut crease, I mean use some concealer. At the center, and I took a little bit extra concealer by mistake. I think I might have applied some concealer at the wrong spot. Okay. Now I'm going to apply the mousse shade right here. It's really intense. So let's see, I'll go slow and apply right at the center. Trying to add some sparkle, but I want to keep the orange as well. This shade is really sparkly, so depending on how intense you want to make this, you can apply accordingly. I'm just gonna go very slow. Again with this old brush, I'm just gonna go to Cindy, kind of build it up a little bit, keep blending it, and then I'm gonna go to Steve, and just intensify the edges. And then with my finger, just to keep it a little more intense at the center, just gonna apply it right here. Not take it too high. Again, just to create that transition with the Cindy shade, and apply it at the center. And also on the inner corner, I'm going to go with Boli but not too much, just a tad. And right here, I'm just trying to highlight it, but I don't want this to take away the shine that I'm trying to add here. And I'm thinking I just want to intensify this a little bit, so I'll go into Bowie, deepen this side. Just connect these two. And with a crease brush, I'm just intensifying the crease a little bit more, and also taking the Cindy shade and intensifying that as well. This is the final look. I created this halo sort of red peach look, and I really like this one. I think this is one of my favorites in this video. So I wanted to share some final thoughts on this palette. Now, when the first time I used this palette and did a first impressions video, I liked the color story, and I still do. But I mean, after working with this palette a little bit, today I was trying to create more intense looks, and I realized that there are a couple of shades that are missing. So this palette has like intense teal grays, but there is no dark shade, like an intense black or dark gray, or maybe a deep blue, purple, I don't know, or at least a standard burgundy-ish brown shade. Cool toned, warm toned, whatever, that's missing. This Bowie shade, first of all, it has a lot of fallout. And if you're trying to create intensity with a shade, you don't want it falling right here, right? So even though Bowie is available, I'd rather not use it. You know what I mean? So I would have preferred a better shade and a darker shade which doesn't have fallout and that works for transitions, for deepening the crease. So that I feel was definitely missing in this palette, even though the rest of the colors are really good, and even though Bowie works, I still feel it could have been better. So that's just my opinion. Another thing is there was a lot of fallout, not on the eye, sorry. There was a lot of kickback, like it's already creating a dent inside because there was half of it was because obviously I used it, and the rest of it was because of the kickback. So yeah, there is a lot of wastage of product when I use this. So this is some extra information, and if this is a deal breaker for you, you might want to not get this one. So something to keep in mind. Another thing is this mandala shade. Maybe it's just me, but I haven't figured out the best way to use this shade. And I feel like at least to get an intense version of this shade, I have to go into some other palette. I don't think this palette works, this color works with this palette or with the shades in this palette. Having said that, I would definitely wear this mandala shade like the way I showed in my previous video, where I was, those were more everyday eye looks, and that's how I would wear this palette, where I would just put in some transition shade and apply these lovely colors all over the eyelid with maybe Bowie or some other intense color from some of my other palettes, and just create some depth and apply my eyeliner and mascara and be done with it. But to create intense eye looks, this would not be my go-to palette. I'm just being honest here, but that's the holy truth. I would definitely go into these metallic shades. If I'm looking for a steel gray look, definitely use these shades. But for the rest of the stuff that I do with my eye to create an intense look, I would not rely on this. Just maybe go to the OA shade, get that gray sparkly thing going on my eye and be done with it, but not use the other shades. The other shades I would use for everyday eye looks, and those would be very simple eye looks. So yeah, that's how I perceive this eyeshadow palette, and that's the truth. I'm just being honest here. So let me know how you like this video. Did you like any of these looks and how you would prefer to use this palette? Any questions you may have, and do subscribe to my channel. And until the next time we meet, bye.